Okay, I want to talk.
Okay, yes.
Karabakh is the one of Asian lands of Azerbaijan. It has a rich nature. Its mountains, forests, the weather condition, and other landscape are famous all over the world. Karabakh has a wonderful relief. And I want to ask from Ali Mehmedov, what can you say about the nature of Karabakh, the relief and the area of Karabakh? Ali?
Okay. The nature of Karabakh. Our homeland's nature is very beautiful and colorful. Karabakh is one of Azerbaijan's oldest and picturesque places. Karabakh is a land-located region in the South Caucasus within the mountainous range of Karabakh. It is conventionally divided into three regions: highland Karabakh, lowland Karabakh, and the icetime spoils of the Zangezur Mountains. The region is the southwest of Lesser Caucasus, includes the area of Jabrayil, Füzuli, Khojaly, Ağdam, Tərtər, Xankəndi. The relief is mainly mountains. Is border of Iran Islam Republic is the south and southwest. The relief of the area of Ağdam is mainly flat and partly mountains. The maximum altitude is about uh, is about uh, 1,365 meters. Jabrayil region is basically located on the sloping plain.
Okay. And Tamila Karimova, what can you say about the vegetation, landscape, plants, and animals of Karabakh?
At the same time, in these areas, 4 types of mammals, 8 types of birds, 1 type of fish, 3 types of amphibians and reptiles, 8 types of insects, 27 types of plants, which are included in the Red Book of Azerbaijan, were projected. Vegetation: Canes, light canes, montane, dark canes, dark brown montane, and forest. Brown montane and forest blackish montane, etc. Soils are widely spread. Land cover: the areas which is rich vegetation, more than 2,000 types of plants grow. The symbol of fauna and one of the most admired animals in Azerbaijan is Karabakh horse. Karabakh horses are considered the most ancient horse breed in Asia and Caucasus. They are golden red and brown horses. There are several reserves and conservation here. Some of the Beşiktaş State Reserve, Karagöl State Reserve, Laçın State Reserve, Kubada Reserve, Daşaltı Reserve.
Okay. Tamila and Alice, thank you for your information.
Hello, dear students and teachers. I want to give some information about Karabakh firstly. The region of Karabakh owns a rich cultural heritage. Its valuable music, carpets, cuisine, literature, architecture are the examples of it. Mugham, popular songs, dances, ashur, work have their specific place in Karabakh music arts. Also, there are a lot of prominent musicians such as Üzeyir Bey, Khan Shushinsky, Niyazi, Bülbül, and others. And also, Karabakh is also known for its carpets too. These carpets distinguish themselves with their vivid and joyous colors. And one of the main cities is Shusha. Shusha is the cradle of Azerbaijan's national music and literature. This was the birthplace of the very important figures of Azerbaijan's cultural history. And this region is also synonymous with the beautiful Karabakh horses, famous with their strength and with their chestnut color. And these kind of horses also won a lot of prizes in the foreign exhibitions. Now I want Nihat to give some extra information about Karabakh. Nihat, could you please give some more information about Karabakh?
Yes, teacher. The Karabakh region is an area with more ancient history, different from most regions of Azerbaijan as well as the world countries. It is Karabakh which is rich in its history, material culture monuments, rich in literature, art, and music culture. The beautiful nature, climate, abundance of natural resources have had a great impact on the art of singing and creativity of Karabakh. The most important place of creativity of Karabakh people belongs to folk arts. Most admirable samples of Karabakh folk art are met in the most popular museums of the world. We are looking at the rich museum collections of the Victoria and Albert Museum of London, the Louvre Museum of Paris, the Metropolitan Museum of Washington, Vienna, Roma, Berlin, Istanbul, Tehran, Cairo. Artworks made by skillful Karabakh masters can be seen everywhere.
Okay, thank you, Nihat. Now, I want to talk about carpets a little. Making carpet has always been a part of Azerbaijan culture. Carpets woven in Karabakh, carpet making schools in different periods fascinate people with their beauty as far. Very few men could weave in those days. Just young girls had to learn to weave a carpet, and it became a part of their story. And it represents the simple and homely life of women who make it, and they show the scenery which they see every day. Most of these carpets are protected in famous museums in the world. Now, John Paul, can you give some more information about Karabakh carpets, please?
Yes, teacher, I can.
Please.
The Karabakh carpet is one of the varieties of carpet of Transcaucasia made in Karabakh region of Azerbaijan. Karabakh carpets could develop into areas in lowland and mountainous part of Karabakh. The last one often and the most renowned one is often called the Shusha Carpet Group. Besides Shusha, the surrounding village of Daşbulaq, Girov, Mavabəyli, Dovşanlı, Çanakça, Tağvar, Hadrut, Muratxanlı, also known for their rugs. Each village developed original design and ornament and had specific characterization which distinguished them from one village to another. In the lowland carpet manufacturing was based in Cəbrayıl, Horadiz, Bərdə and Ağdam. Şuşa carpet weavers Məşədi Bayram Qurbanoğlu, Cabbar Hacı Əkrəmoğlu, Fatimə Ağa Şərif qızı, Əhməd Daşdəmir oğlu participated and were awarded in an international show in Paris in 1867. Şuşa carpet also received awards in 1872 in Moscow. Karabakh carpet painting was added UNESCO's representative masterpiece of intangible heritage as form of Azerbaijan carpets.
Okay, thank you, John Pollard. And now let's talk about music a little. Music, Karabakh has well-known musicians like Üzeyir Hacıbəyov. Üzeyir Hacıbəyov became the pride of Azerbaijan nation, and he was the first composer who composed first opera in 1908. The premiere of his opera Leyla and Majnun took place. And also Niyazi was one of the greatest conductors in the history of Azerbaijan classical music. And also I can say that Khan Shushinsky also was very well known as a talented composer after writing a number of songs. And one of the best representatives is also Bulbul. His real name is Murtaz Mammadov, was born in Shusha. For his beautiful voice, people called him Bulbul, as in English it is Nightingale. Ilaha, can you just give some more information about music of Karabakh? Ilaha? Ilaha? Are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Please.
Karabakh music has always taken a central place in Azerbaijan's music history. The history of Karabakh music is closely connected with the art of ashiqs.
which united both storytelling, dance, and vocal and instrumental music into traditional performance art. One of the greatest representatives of Ashuk art, Ashuk Vali, listens with beautiful music pieces such as Karabağ şikəstəsi, Kəsmə şikəstə, Baş Sarıtel, and Orta Sarıtel. In general, Aşıq Hüseyin, Aşıq Əli, Aşıq Ələsgər, Aşıq Əziz, Aşıq Məhəmməd, Molla Cuma, and others left an incredible mark on Karabağ Aşıq art. Karabağ also brought up the first female representatives of this art, Aşıq Peri. In the 19th century, culture life was booming in the head of Karabakh, the city of Shusha. First time in Azerbaijan's culture history, a number of culture events, European and Austrian concerts, music, science, and art meetings, theater, library was established in Shusha. Various musical meeting groups and school opened here. Young talents were taught by founder of Shusha's music school, Harrat Gülü and Molla Ibrahim. The first Orient concert took place in Shusha in 1901. Led by the prominent Azerbaijani playwright Abdurrahim Hakverdiyev, the concert slowed performance of such culture figures as Cabbar Qaryağdıoğlu, Məşədi Dadaş, tar muzikant Sadıqcan, Ağa Bağdagüloğlu, Aşıq and others. Shusha Vocal School has entered the history of Eastern music.
Thank you, Laha, so much for your information. Okay, and now let's talk about Karabakh cuisine. Karabakh cuisine serves as a bridge between the cuisines of historical northern and southern Azerbaijan. It's an integral part of traditional Azerbaijan national culinary culture. Nearly all types of traditional Azerbaijani open and closed hearths are used in Karabakh cuisine like tandir, chala, ocak, sac, bukhari, and others. They highlight certain nuances in local cuisine, taking into consideration certain features. Meat is the indistinguishable part of the cuisine of this zone, but you can also meet some vegetarian dishes like sıkhma suyu, katavis herbs, and others. They can be found in Karabakh cuisine too. It's also popular with its flour products and dairy products too. Now, Hajar, can you talk? Could you please add some other facts about cuisine of Karabakh?
Yes, teacher. It is an example of traditional Azerbaijan national country culture. The culinary traditions, utensil, cooking technology, and terminal meals of Karabakh are identical to the cuisine of other race of Azerbaijan. It is sometimes they are local difference due to the clamberly and traditional conditions. Karabakh is from the sea. Karabakh cuisine does not use sea fish. Fat leeks and livery deer and some fish dishes. This includes dish lavangi, kurgut and fish buğlama. Islam had a big impact on Karabakh cuisine. The pork is used in meals. The meals there are a lot of firka, her special nuts and of them every been in Karabakh. Külleme, bozlama, tendir, çörek, kozlama, komba, lavaş, yuxa, atir, çabartma, cəd and acıtma. Products are common. Types are cooked with herbs, meat, pumpkin, it's such. Products are common to all Turkish people in Turkey. They are salad. Aylığı, börek, importalı, Culture.
Thank you, Hajar, so much. That's all.
Okay. When talking about Karabakh, we must pay attention to the literary persons of it. In the 19th century, Karabakh literature entered to its golden age, and Shusha turned to be the cultural center of Karabakh. In the end of 19th century, Karabakh, one of the most outstanding representatives of Karabakh cultural environment, is General composer, a great writer, the founder of musical comedy, publicist, journalist, and so on. Generally, we can list most prominent outstanding representatives of Karabakh cultural environment as the followings. For example, Yusuf Wazir Chaman Zaminli, author of first novels, Süleyman Sani Akhundov, one of the most prominent authors of child literature, Frederick Charlie, and so on. We can extend this line as much as we want. Okay, let's talk about some of the most famous poets and writers of Karabakh. Okay, Mushfiq, can you please tell me a little information, for example, about Molla Panah Wagif? Mushfiq, begin,
Yes,
please.
yes. Wagif occupies a prominent place in the history of Azerbaijan due to his literary and political activities. He was a great poet, the founder of new realism genre in the Azerbaijan poetry. Wagif was born in Kazakh but spent most part of his life in Karabakh. In Karabakh, Wagif became popular and beloved among Karabakh people. There was even a saying, not every literary person can be Wagif.
Okay, Leila. Okay, thanks, Mushfiq. Leila, I would like you to inform us about, for example, Qasem Bey Zakir. Begin, please, Leila.
Yes, one of the most prominent poets of the 19th century, Zakir was born in 1784 in Shusha, the historical capital of Karabakh. He was one of the founders of the critical realism and satirical trend in our literature. Because of his satire, Zakir was exiled from Shusha. Zakir was also a great lyrical poet. One of his best lyrical poems in Durnalar, which was dedicated to his longing for his homeland in Karabakh.
Okay, thanks, Leila. Then, Fatima, who are you going to inform us about? Begin, please, Fatima.
Khurshudbanu Natava. I
Okay.
would like to give some information about Khurshudbanu Natava. Natava was one of the best lyrical poet movement of Azerbaijan. Humanism, kindness, friendship, and love were the main themes of her poems. Natava was also the first person to build a water pile to Shusha that relieved Shusha people from troubles. Nathavan did a lot for the prosperity of her native town and country.
Okay, thanks, all my students.
Okay, I want to give about some information about the Second Karabakh War. And we know that 20% of our lands were occupied by Armenians about 30 years ago. Though Azerbaijani presidents attempt to return back our lands by peace, it didn't give any successful results. Also, during this time, Armenians attacked to our lands by many times. Countless innocent people sacrificed as a result of these attacks. Finally, in 2021, we could return back all Karabakh lands. This is a great success of all Azerbaijanis. And now our students are going to give some information about this. Nurlan, what can you say about the Second Karabakh War? How did it begin? What can you say about it?
Karabakh is internationally recognized as fate of Azerbaijan. With the Second Karabakh War, new bravery phase was opened in Azerbaijan's history. The Second Karabakh War began
on the 27th September with the attacks of Armenians to Azerbaijan. In this war, Azerbaijan, supported by Turkey. The war continued 1 month and 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you for your information. Then Hussein, what events did happen during this the Second Karabakh War? Hussein.
First of all, we are thankful to our Supreme Commander-in-Chief Ilham Aliyev, our powerful army, and our martyrs. During this war, Azerbaijan showed its national unity. Countless Azerbaijani volunteers took part in this war. Turkey provided military support to Azerbaijan.
Okay, thank you very much. Then Fatima, what territories were released during the Second Karabakh War?
During the war, Azerbaijan gained control of 5 cities, 4 towns, 286 villages, and the entire Azerbaijan-Iran border. On the 18th of November, she released it. This was a great success. All Armenian occupied territories surrounding Nagorno-Karabakh ceded back to Azerbaijan by the 1st December.
Okay, thank you for your information too. Then Manaf, how did the Second Karabakh War end? Say something about this.
A ceasefire agreement was signed between the President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and Prime Minister of Armenia Nikol Pashinyan and Russian of President Vladimir Putin. This ceasefire agreement ended all hostilities in the area. This agreement was signed on 10th of November. Russian soldiers were deployed as peacekeeping forces along the Latin corridor between Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all.
Should I share the video?
First of all, I greet all students and our dear teachers. Teachers and students have already talked about Karabakh, its history, its ancient times, about the violence Armenian invaders and our victory over them. As we know, this year is ratified by our President Ilham Aliyev, the year of Nizami Gencevi, on the occasion of his 880th anniversary. I want to integrate to him a little. Nizami Gencevi is Azerbaijani great poet. He dedicated his poems to various rulers because it was the tradition of the great poets of that time. Nizami Gencevi wrote many beautiful poems. One of them is Khamsa, as we know, 5 jewels, and one of these 5 jewels in Khosrow is Khosrow Shirin. In Khosrow Shirin, he wrote about the horse, about the Chowkan, one of the ancient horseback games of Karabakh. We have prepared video material with our students, and here we talk about Karabakh, and we integrate this game which reminded Nizami Gencevi in his poem Khosrow and Shirin, and they our student there speaks a part of this poem where Shirin and Khosrow play Chövkan. And now, please, Samra teacher, can you share our video material,
Azerbaijan
please?
is the largest country in the Caucasus region of Eurasia. It's bounded by Russia on the north, on the east by the Caspian Sea, on the south and west by Iran, on the west by Armenia, on the northwest by Georgia and Turkey. About 30 million people live in Azerbaijan. As a result of wars between Russia and Iran, Azerbaijan was divided into two parts as per Turkmenchai Treaty in 1828. 28 May 1918 is the day of establishing the independent Azerbaijan Republic. It lived for only 23 months. The troops of the 11th Red Army came to Baku, and in December 1922 Azerbaijan became a part of the former Soviet state. In 1991, Azerbaijan regained its independence, which opened a new stage in the history of Azerbaijan. It has its own tricolor flag and national emblem, anthem, money, and army. Green indicates facts that Azerbaijan is an Islamic country. Red indicates the development and democracy of Azerbaijan. Blue indicates that the Azerbaijans are one of the Turkic peoples. The state emblem of Azerbaijan mixes traditional and modern symbols. The local point of the emblem is the symbol of fire. This symbol comes from the fact that Azerbaijan is the land of eternal fire.
The land of fire, Azerbaijan has very many beautiful regions. Thus, the crown of Azerbaijan is Karabakh. Karabakh is one of the ancient historical regions of Azerbaijan. The name of Karabakh is a combination of the words Kara and Bakh. The word Karabakh, a name given by Azerbaijani people to their land, first appeared in primary sources of the 7th century. The flora of Karabakh is very rich. There are many beautiful flowers, herbal plants, and different old trees there. The wonderful flower in Karabakh is herbal. It is considered by some to be official flower of the Karabakh region. It grows in the mountains of Shusha. It doesn't grow anywhere else in the world. The flower looks as if a nightingale is sitting on it. People use this wonderful flower as a healing herb. The president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, ratified Harb Bülbül, the symbol of the martyrs who lost their lives in the Second Karabakh War, which ended with the victory of us.
Many years ago, there were very popular horseback games in Azerbaijan. These games were held in Karabakh on Karabakh horses' backs. Among these games, Çovğan, Piyada Ok, Çerdeç Kaçırdı, Sürpapak, Süreyçi, Baharbend, Yaylık were very famous. People watched them with great love and fun.
Shogun is a traditional horse riding game played on a flat grassy field by two competing teams of players mounted on Karabakh. Shogun is a game which brave men competed on strong and beautiful Karabakh horses was the symbol of courage and quickness. This game was included into the list of UNESCO as the request of Azerbaijan. The game Shogun is a sport played on horseback with a history going back to 2,400 years. The great Azerbaijani poet of the 12th century, Nizami Gencevi, wrote about the Shogun in his poem Khosrow and Shirin. In this poem, he showed that the beautiful prince and princess played Shogun on horseback. It proved that the women also could play Shogun in that time. This is a part of the poem where Khosrow offered Shirin to play Shogun.
Hər ay günəş kimi eylədi cövlan, doğdu hər keklikdən bir tilək fərman. Xosrov gördü, onlar belə olurmuş. Çəməndə qırqovul, ovda qaranquş. Şirinə dedi ki, gəl at çapara, bu geniş düzəndə çövkan oynayaq. Xosrovun topuna çövkan atdılar. Gözəllər səsküylə at oynatdılar. Söyüdlüyə döndü yollar bir anda. Yer ayı söyüddən səndəl salanda. Bir anda durmuşdu ailə ulduzlar. Şah əyan tutmuşdu bir yanda qərar. Meydanda maralla oynayırdı şir. Turac qaranquşu almışdı əsir. Gah günəş vururdu topu, gah da ay. Şirinlə şah düzə salmışdı haray.
Çövqan oyunundan artıq bezdilər, meydan ətrafını sürüb gəzdilər.
We were the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Armenians in Karabakh have already armed, and they began operations there in 1988. Large-scale military operations were halted with the signing of a ceasefire in 1994. Nagorno-Karabakh, together with another 7 ancient regions of Azerbaijan, Laçın, Kəlbəcər, Ağdam, Füzuli, Cəbrayıl, Qubadlı, and Zengilan, were achieved by Armenia. The separatist regime in Nagorno-Karabakh declared its independence in 1991. This independence, which does not comply in any way with internationally recognized by any country.
Karabakh and other surrounding regions, states invaded Hankende. On the 26th of December in 1991, Kocalı. On the 26th of February in 1992, Şuşa. On the 8th of May in 1992, Laçın. On the 8th of May in 1992, Kəlbəcər. On the 2nd of May in 1992, Ağdam. On the 21st of July in 1992, Zulu and Cəbrayıl. On the 21st of August in 1993, Zengilan. On the 20th of October in 1993,
The working group on assessment of the casualties and losses to the occupied territories of Azerbaijan reports to the Cabinet of Ministers of the Republic of Azerbaijan that more than $800 billion of damage has been caused to Azerbaijan by the Armenia-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict.
Cities, settlements, and villages liberated from Armenian occupation between 27 September and 9 November 2020 as a result of a successful counter-offensive launch in Karabakh by the Azerbaijani army on 27 September. 5 cities, 4 settlements, and 286 villages had been liberated from occupation by 9 November.
On 10 November, the President of Azerbaijan, the Prime Minister of Armenia, and the President of Russia signed a statement declaring a complete ceasefire and end to all military operation in the conflict zone. In accord with the statement, Ağdam region was handed back to Azerbaijan on 20 November, Kəlbəcər region on 25 November, and Laçın region on 1 December. After the cessation of hostilities on 10 November 2020, Azerbaijan's sovereignty was established over all the cities, settlements and villages in Karabakh, and the territorial integrity of the Republic of Azerbaijan was restored. Karabakh is Azerbaijan.
That's all for müəllimə.
Yes, that's all. It was a great
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, students,
So
for your
our
participation.
meeting is over. Thank you, everybody. Good night, müəllimə.
Thanks, everyone. I am glad to participate your round table. And I want to say only one sentence and conclude. Dear student, we are never forget our history, our Azerbaijan's history, Karabakh history. And we are proud to say that Karabakh is Azerbaijan. That's all. Thanks, everyone. Special teacher, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Günay müəllimə. Thank you.
Oldu. Kim bunu recording edibsə, atar mənə, bunu yerləşdirdik sayta, biz tədqiq.